Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to speak about duality. And why duality? Because duality is in fact something that is ruling our world. What does duality mean? A lot of people just hear duality and say, oh yes, this is a world of yin, yang, it's a world of black and white, day and night, and so on and so forth. While this is true, duality, in fact, is much more than this. And if we realize what duality means, it will help us solve everything that we are going through, suffering from, seeing in front of our eyes. So the world we live in is coming really from oneness. One is the actual base of who we are. There is nothing in this world except the one spirit, the one unmoved mover, the one God, the one fill in the blank, the one energy that we believe has started all of this. And this one is still the same. It is all one. But what happened within this one, this oneness had a desire to, let's say, put it in very simple terms, see itself, interact with itself, mirror itself. And as a result, the two is the very first number that was created. And it was created by, if the one is just like one stick or one, this is how we write one. Duality came from the one mirroring itself with another one. So it's one and one making two. So basically, the two is no more than one mirrored in a mirror. So here, does the mirror exist? Does the shadow in the mirror exist? Is the reflection in the mirror real? Is the one truly seeing itself? Or is the one dreaming itself? What is it that is behind this mirror? This is what is called duality. So duality is when we can use any term like the divine or the great spirit or the great being, the great force in this universe, desired to see and to experience itself. So it created this mirror that is mirroring itself back to itself, inside itself. So in fact, the number 2 is a very sacred number. 1 stands for the one creator, 2 stands for the created. So this is why when the majority of the texts, divine texts, scriptures say that God created the world, desired to see the world. This desire means, desire comes from love. From when you desire, you want to be more than. So the divine creator created the world out of a love desire to see itself, to experience itself. And this is why all scriptures say that God created man in his own image. Image. So we are the image. We are what is inside the mirror. So the question again, what is inside the mirror? Is it reality with a capital R? Is it the dream? Is it just a reflection? I can say one thing. This dividing line between the divine and its creation does not exist. But it manifested in order to give the love force to reflect itself to itself. So this is the true meaning of man, or creation is in the image of the divine. And that's why when we say the divine is inside of us, we are also inside the divine. I want to refer to something very simple. When human beings found the need to pray and access this divinity, they created a god or gods, depending on the culture. And what we need to realize is the concept of God cannot, no way can it exist without us. So, worshipper and worshipped, it's a dual relationship. So, if you want to worship, you're going to create a God. If God wants to be worshipped, he has to create us. So you see, we're creating him, her, whatever you want to call it, and he is creating us. So this is really the nature of it. Creator, created. Worshipper, worshipped. They have to exist together. That's the true sense of duality. Now, in reality, this duality does not exist because it is still all oneness, reflecting itself to itself. But let's speak in simpler terms. We are in a world of duality, meaning that here, planet Earth exists because there is a sun and a moon. So the duality of sun in daylight, reflecting light, and moon for the nighttime, the duality of sun and moon means that there is a relationship of Earth having to exist. Because just as the divine desired to reflect itself in its most sacred creation, which is the human being, and he created the human being in his own image, what is the human being going to create? The human being will want to also create something in its own image. So this duality gives rise to Trinity. So our world or our Earth, beautiful Earth, exists because of the concept of duality. The sun and the moon relationship means there is Earth. Take away the sun, take away the moon, Earth will not exist. So it's the three of them are co-creating existence. So you, by desiring to know your unseen part, know the creator, you are also co-creating in this relationship. So when we are living in a world of duality, it means that we are created in a dual form of relationship because it's only the duality that can give birth. Only a relationship of duality can create. You see that word? Create. So it takes a male and a female to create a newly born baby. The magic of creation. And it takes the male and female to create duality. A human being has got what? The right side and the left side of the brain. Why to? To cope with reality, to cope with the seen and the unseen, the emotional and the rational. Because having the brain, two sides of the brain, the left and the right, so here left is in one direction, right is in the other. It's exactly like North Pole, South Pole. Day giving birth to night, night giving birth to day. In fact, if we look at all these relationships, they are relationships of love, of reflection. The North needs the South. the night needs the day. So this duality is in fact a completion, perfection. So here, when we come to human beings live in the duality of what? One thing, the mind and the heart. In reality, the mind is an illusion. We are creatures of emotions. And it is your emotions that create a vibration. And this is signaled to the brain that interprets it as either anger, happiness, generosity. It interprets signals from the emotional system inside of you. So the brain, because people like to say, oh, we've got the world of the brain and the world of the heart. You can put it in these terms, but in reality, the brain is not a creator. The brain is only like a receiver of signals, receiving these signals and transmitting it out. But what creates are your emotions. And your emotions are in duality. So this is why we have emotions of sorrow, emotions of joy, emotions of pain, emotions of happiness. And who's the greater or the greatest context for this duality is divine attributes. You can see that. We see that this great spirit is the creator, the destroyer. You see, the avenger, the merciful. It's opposites in one dynamic. And those opposites are working to create perfection. So let's translate this into something a bit simpler. What is it that we need to learn to live to learn about duality in order to live in a better world? We need to learn that our emotional system that gives us two directions is based on oneness. So when you are feeling anger, all what you need to do is take a deep breath. Why take a deep breath? Because you are taking this anger and you are vibrating it. The more you breathe into it, you're breathing light. You are changing it. So this anger will quieten and it will change into either no emotion and then a feeling of coping, and the opposite. I'm no longer angry. I'm in fact at peace. So the world of duality is formed for you to be on top of your game. All you need to do is, instead of thinking, feel. What is it that I'm feeling now? Right. If what I am feeling now is something that I'm not very happy or proud of, how can I, and I'm going to say again, breathe it into something different? Because why am I saying breathing? Anger is a breath. You know, when someone is angry, it's the breathing. When someone is happy, it's again a breath. The breath is what allows us to play with the duality. We breathe through our nostrils, and our nostrils are what? Two holes. Two, meaning you are breathing the two into one breath. You are transmuting the dual into one. Oneness. The first thing we do when we are born is breathe. Through two nostrils, into two lungs, and then it comes out as One breath. It's creation. You are creating. Every breath is a creation. Every exhale is a creation. So the last thing that we do when we exit this world is breath. Between the first breath that we take and the last exhale lies your life in duality. So I would like us to take this concept, think about it. How do I apply it in my everyday world? What is it that I can do to live a happier and better life? If my consciousness does not allow me to play with this, play with the breath. When you experience a feeling, have a look at how you are breathing that feeling. If it's a breath of joy, note how you create your joy through breathing. Note it and make sure you duplicate it when you are far away from this feeling. If you are in any other displeasing feeling, have a look at how you are breathing. And again, note how you have come to this and be able to duplicate it. Why duplicate it? You will hear say, why don't I transmute it into something different? Yes, transmute it and get rid of it. But if you cannot, because some things are really hurting, meditate. Bring that feeling of anger in your meditation. Look at it. Feel it with the fullness of your heart and say, I have experienced it and this is enough. And start to play with the breath during meditation. Transmute it into something else. Then you have become creator. Now, we said that the creator or the great spirit created the duality in order to enjoy itself. I want you, wherever you go, to look and say, everything out there is reflecting me, because you are only seeing what you are creating. How? When we are walking in the street and we pass by the same shops every day, and one day you say, oh, I need a tailor. Anyone knows a tailor? And they say, yes, in the street. Just down by the street where you live, there is a tailor. And you'd say, oh my God, I've never seen this tailor. You know why you've never seen this tailor, although it exists? Because for you, it does not exist. Every day you create your reality from within you. So when there is a need for you to see something, you start seeing it, although it was already there. So you kind of like creating your world. So this is what we mean by what is inside is reflected outside. So here, just as the creator is looking and experiencing itself through us, we also have a mirror, which is I am here and everything else is my mirror, the reflection of what I am creating with every breath. Thank you. And I would like to know if anyone has got any questions. No? Okay.
Yes, maybe. Why then, when you work on yourself, visualization, why certain things don't seem to, it takes forever to manifest themselves? I mean, certain thing I've done quickly, and certain thing I'm just keep waiting, and I'm saying no, and it's here. I try to bring it in the present moment, and I haven't seen it yet.
Beautiful question. You know, when God created the world, they said that he created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. So even the universe was not created in 1 day. And we don't know how long this 1 day is, you know. Now, Why do things manifest faster than others? For one simple reason. What you are in tune with more will manifest quicker. I said that the feelings go to the brain. So the brain is only like an empty computer that needs programming. So your feelings are programming this computer. And once it puts the program in, that computer starts reflecting it to you outside. How strong is your feeling? You know, when we are feeling hatred, hatred is a very strong feeling, and it's great because you know exactly what you don't want. And it keeps reflecting in front of you because your feeling of hatred is so strong, it keeps reflecting. But when we're desiring something that is not in our immediate, it remains a desire. See that? I am desiring something. It means I have not yet created it. I haven't got it. So when I am sending this emotion to the brain is interpreting what I am desiring. You're in the desiring phase. So keep desiring. It might, when it manifests, it's when you really feel you are, or when you are in tune with it. It's a vibration. Are you on the same wavelength of what you are asking for? And some people say, well, I'm asking for logical things. But your sum total experience in everyday life, it has nothing to do with logic again. It has to do with manifesting, feeling. Now, the one thing is, if you keep saying, oh, this is taking a very long time to appear, it will take a very long time. How strongly do you feel this desire?
Oh, I can tell you it's strong. I can tell you it's strong, and I've added just whatever potion, magical potion I could get my hands on.
See, sometimes we need to release it. You know, when God is creating the world, did he have doubt? He didn't have doubt. Did he think it's going to be late? But as human beings, we believe that there is a buffer zone of time, you know, like to happen after fill in the blank. So whatever is there, like we always say, oh, we want it immediately, but something inside of us says, but it's going to take time.
Well, they say there is a divine timing as well. It's not always because you know, if you want it quick, but for some reason the divine timing thing is better. That's another thing to take into account.
I love this divine timing. This is the hanger. Divine timing means one thing, like when my energy is ready to manifest it. My energy, not divine energy. My energy is divine energy. So this is why some people create just like this, and others it takes longer. But it is part of two things: desiring what is in sync with who you are, A. B, the art of letting go. I created it. I released it to the universe. Leave it. It will come. But you need to have faith that it's going to come.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I'm good on manifesting. That's why it's been a bit more frustrating, because that part, you know.
We can work together.
Yeah.
Together on what it is. We're having a workshop.
Yes, that's why I spotted that. And I wanted to ask you the details. Thanks.
That's the details.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I actually just want to add to that. Like, so the subconscious plays part in this.
The subconscious.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We're conscious and subconscious, aren't we? Again, duality.
Yeah.
If your conscious is very different from your subconscious, you're not in sync of who you are. So
how do you know that?
Oh,
well, we desire something. Is it really genuinely in tune with who I am? Am I imitating someone else? Did I see it on someone else and felt, oh, it's great, why don't I do the same? Be original. Original. Don't duplicate. Don't imitate. Why should I have her same hairstyle? Why can't I have my own?
Beautiful.
Why? Yeah, study this thing because so-and-so succeeded in it. No, it is, what do I desire? You see, originality. Originality.
Yeah. And I had a conversation with my fear and any possible dragon. I've done mediation, and I say, are we all on the same wavelength to make sure? So yeah.
We have been educated into the inner and the outer, keeping appearances, home and society outside. The person who is original, whether you're at home or out, you're the same. I go out, and if I see an elder woman, I treat her exactly like my mother. Anyone I see outside of my home and family, they are my family. They're just my bigger family. Remember the mirror. Everything you're seeing is this beautiful creation that you have created. Even if you're seeing you do not like, it's fine. It's just a matter of, right, how do I use this duality?
Yes.
It is very simple.
It's just for me, it's the one piece of the puzzle that I'm, and then bang.
Well, it will happen the minute that you say there is no one piece of the puzzle. It is complete. Sometimes when we release things, they come faster. We always hear stories about, and the minute I just gave up on this and I stopped asking for it, it happened. Don't we sometimes hear this?
Yeah,
So
sometimes, yeah.
The art of letting go. The art of letting go.
Well, they say it's a balance between holding on and letting go. You've got to find the right balance.
Trust.
Holding on to the face and everything, but letting go about, yeah.
Trust.
Okay.
As I said, when the creator was creating, he trusted enough to know that this is going to be reflected. Trust.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions?
I was just going to hang on. Sorry, I'll put my camera on. Pardon me. As always, interesting stuff that gets the old brain thinking. Interesting, because things that popped into my head while you were speaking was moral compass, integrity, who you are, your values, what simpler terms, what makes you tick, the right from wrong. I understand that everything is the yin and the yang. And I guess quite often when I try to meditate, particularly in the morning when I wake up and it's quiet time and the animals have woken me up and said, Mum, get up, it's time to get up. But I have a little bit of quiet time and my brain wants to go straight into 1,001 things, and I'm focusing to meditate, but it's off going here, there, and everywhere on 1,000 different things, pulling it back in, particularly actually on creating the pyramid of light. Not sure where I'm going with if there's a question on this or just an observation more than anything. But that quiet time of, I think where I'm going is it's actually about being centered, coming back to what you're saying, just release stuff, the breath. I hadn't understood that, the duality. So thank you. Interesting. really given me lots of food for thought. More observation and commentary rather than questions per se. And I suspect that's also a way of slowing the mind too, when it wants to go and, you know, be logical and have all that noise in the background. Maybe.
I want to say that, you know, the yin and the yang are very logical.
I know.
And
I'm wired
the
like that.
they are very logical and at the same time illogical. Like we just think of things as if we want them to be one thing or the other. Conscious, subconscious, material or does not exist, rational or emotional. And the irony is the dividing line is an illusion. Always remember this. The dividing line is the mirror, is an illusion. You are one. You are one. Go for the original inside of you. When is duality serving you? And when is duality not serving you? Duality serves me when I am accepting and in control of both. How am I in control of both? That when what I want happens and I'm fine, and what I don't want happens and I'm fine. I'm accepting of both. It means, and when I say I'm accepting, it's not just I'm numbing myself to accept it. No, I'm in tune. I'm in tune with who I am.
But that's awareness then, isn't it? The awareness of yourself. So understanding.
Awareness, acceptance, acceptance, knowing that I'm original. You know, we've lost this originality with media, the images out there, with actually when we sit with ourselves and ask, what is it that I genuinely want? We will find that the majority of the things we ask for are not belonging to us. They belong to others. We're imitating. You will know you are original when you reach a state where whatever flows from inside of you has not been thought of. It's just, look at this, flows. It's a wave. It is just coming out. And you're accepting it. Oh, this wave of anger. That's interesting. I'm angry today. How? And I breathe it. It's transmuted. Of course, there are very painful experiences, like losing a loved one and seeing people suffer. But again, realize one thing. This oneness is looking inside the mirror, and it is looking at itself. So it's all one. Still good. Still good. Trust. So I'm going to say thank you, everyone, and see you next week.